This is the Two Moody Chicks podcast,
the lifestyle podcast brought to you by the sister duo Quinda and Cita.
From travel to beauty to events to entrepreneurship.
We are your hosts, and we will cover it all.
It's your girls, the Two Moody Chicks. It's your girl Quinda
and your girl Cita.
And today we're going to be talking about a very important topic in today's society, and that's the topic of women's body types. So we're going to go into detail about the slim, skinny body type, the thick body type, and the plus size or like overweight body type. And we're going to talk about how those different body types are viewed by people, how those different body types, like different experiences that those women have to go through with each of those body types, and then just about society standards in general. So we're going to go ahead and get started on this podcast today.
Yep, so stay tuned as we do a deep dive.
It'll get interesting. Okay, so the first body type we're going to talk about is, which one do you want to get into first? The slim, the thick? Slim. Yeah. Okay, so with the slim body types, you know, those women are always told like, oh, you need to eat something. You need to eat something. You're too skinny. You don't eat, you know, and it's like, everybody thinks the grass is green on the other side. Like those women always say, oh, I wish I was a little bit thicker. I wish I had more meat on my bones. Or no matter how much I eat, I can't gain any weight. And, you know, it's like people always impose, especially on women. Women's bodies are so heavily policed just in society. You know, if you're too skinny, it's a problem. Yeah. You look like a little boy. If you're too big, don't nobody want you. If you're too thick, you over-sexualized. Mm. So with the slim women, I've never had that struggle because I've never been, you know, skinny or what you call like that type of slim where people would think like, oh, she don't eat. But it is pressure on those women, and they go out, you know, they get the BBLs or they get the breast implants and stuff like that because they're always being told like, oh, girl, you so skinny, you don't eat. And at first I didn't think that was a problem when people would say that. But then when I started having like skinnier friends, they would always say like, I hate when people say that to me. Like, I hate when people say, oh, girl, you need a burger. You need to eat something, because it makes them feel
hurtful. Like, especially if you can't like help that's how your
you cannot help it. Yeah. And people with really, really slim bodies and really skinny women, they have a super fast metabolism. Yeah. They eat more than anybody I know, but they just do not gain weight like that because their body is constantly burning calories. So they always say it's like if you keep telling a fat person like you need to stop eating, they say it's the same type of feeling for them. So, you know, and in society, it's like those women are not deemed as, you know, that attractive to men. Like men don't really go for the skinny bodies.
It's like they don't see them like in a sexual way. So because they can't sexualize them, they just don't really have much of a use for them. I mean, they might give you an exception. You have like a pretty face. Well, okay, but her face card don't decline.
Right.
But, you know, they catch flack for their bodies.
Mm-hmm. And even when I see, what's the little cute rapper, Lola Brooke? Oh, yeah. And I just think she is so pretty and she can rap her butt off.
What's the other one, the other light-skinned lady? Vizino daughter?
Coyle Ray. Yeah, so we're talking about those body types. Glorilla, Coyle Ray, Lola Brooke. You know, when you look at the comments, the first thing they say, oh, they too skinny. They need to eat something. And then when men be like, oh, no, they look good. They like, why are you attracted to that? She look like a little boy. You know,
so trying to make it like you have a problem if you are attracted to those type of women, like you're a pedophile or something.
Right. Exactly. So it's like the men, like when they do express interest in those body types, it's like they get shamed for wanting a slim woman or a skinny woman. And, you know, it comes from other men and women. But it's just like, you know, again, it's the policing of women's bodies and different body types. And like I said, that's never been our body. Well, Cita was kind of skinny at one point.
Yeah, like in high school.
Yeah, in high school. And, you know, like I've never had that struggle, so I can't speak on it. But what was your experiences when you were skinny like that?
I don't know. I didn't really get those comments. So I guess my experience was a little bit different. Mm-hmm. But I always kind of had like a skinny athletic body. So even though I was skinny, I had like little tiny muscles.
Right. So it wasn't as like Coyle Ray where she's really slender. No. Yeah. Okay.
I was like skinny with muscles because I ran track. So yeah, I didn't catch too much flack.
Yeah.
If anything, my body was like the ideal type back then. People wanted that body type.
Mm-hmm. The next body type we're going to talk about is the thick body types, and when we talk about thick, we're gonna talk about like how, who's gonna get that example? Meg the Stallion before she slimmed down recently, Kim Kardashian back in the day. Though that's what we consider thick for intents and purposes for this video and podcast. Yeah. So with thicker body types, they tend to be hypersexualized. You know, people look at them and it's almost like they look at them for sexual purposes. Especially when we talk about, you know, whoever's attracted. It could be another woman that's attracted or a man that's attracted. But even sometimes those body types will catch flack from the same sex that's not attracted. So like they get hated on by women, you know, and they walk in the room or walk in the club and they got the, you know, the proportions and the small waist and the big booty or the big boobs and no stomach, you know, it might draw some hate from the same gender. You know, other women might be like, oh, who she thinks she is, or why she come here dressed like that? Like they instantly think you're trying to pull attention, when really that's just how you built. Now, we're not talking about BBLs right now. We're talking about women that's naturally thick, that's like naturally
like thick and curvy.
Yeah, like the thick and curvy body types. You know, and then men, when they see those types of bodies, they tend to just want to see what it does in the bed. They don't really want to necessarily date that woman, or they first interest is sexual attraction. Mm-hmm. It's not, oh, I wonder, you know, I wonder how smart she is, how intelligent she is. And I think with slim women, they can kind of lead with, like when men approach them, it's more like they're approaching them because they like them overall. I think when the thicker body types and like the more like curvy body types get approached, the first thing that man is thinking is sex. Yeah. So what do you think? Because that's what Cita's body type will be classified as. Yeah. Like the thicker body types, the curvy body types.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely over-sexualized. It's like no matter what, people like kind of view your body first and then try and, I guess, judge your like intelligence or what you bring, but they don't really see you as a person. Like they're not going to look and see like how your mind is working, how your brain is working. Like they just kind of see a body and they either want it for like their own purposes, like either sexual attraction or like a trophy. Oh, this person might make me look good if I walk in the club with them or in the room.
I didn't think about that one.
Yeah,
I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
but see, that's not my lived experience. So yeah.
You gotta be careful. And then it's like, it's not clear a lot of times because sometimes, you know, anybody, they're not gonna be nice, mean to you. First, they're gonna try to be nice to you. So you gotta try and like determine like why, or, you know, does this person like me for me, or are they just looking at my body?
Do you think you get treated better or worse from men or women? Who do you think is nicer to you based on body types?
I don't know. I can't really say.
It depends on the situation, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess if I had to put a number on it, probably nicer but treated by men because
it's they trying to gain something.
Yeah. But sometimes women are nice too, but you know, sometimes it's like that. You walk in a room and then people kind of frown up, like, or they might assume,
mad that you in the room.
Yeah. A lot of times people assume like, you know, is it a BBL? I think people kind of like, you know, debate that amongst themselves, like, is it a BBL or not, or whatever. It's like, everybody don't get BBLs, and
right.
Maybe we need to know what a BBL actually looks like versus a natural body.
I think people can tell. I think it just be like a little hater when they say that. Yeah, because you could kind of, like, we've been around, and, you know, our generation, we've seen enough BBLs to know. Yeah. Now, it is some nicely done BBLs, but it's something about it that's always kind of a giveaway. You know, either it's too perfect, too round, too smooth, you know. Yeah. So it's just like, when people say it, I think they trying to have a little hint of shade with it, you know. Yeah. But, so... When men approach you, do you kind of be like, oh, what are you coming up to me for?
Because I mean, I get approached by, like, unfortunately, like a lot of narcissists, like, because I would make them look good, and then a lot of them, they know that I'm natural. Yeah, like people, they just can tell, and so they kind of deem it like a step above the BBL body. Like, okay, I can grab the BBL, I can get her because she's natural. I'm gonna go for the natural person that looks like that. So you kind of have to try and see like what that person's like intentions are. Yeah. I can't say I'd be approached by a lot of people who have good intentions. I'll say that. So
Wow. So because this is again a conversation about like body types in society and how it's perceived. Do you think a slimmer woman like the Coyle Rays and the Lola Brooks, do you think they have it easier than curvy body types?
As far as like men like approaching them?
Well, yeah, we can go with men first and then we're going to go with women and then we'll go with society as a whole. So men first.
I don't know. I guess if I had to say, I would say probably like, men might approach them with better intentions than a woman like me. Like with me, it's they're trying to see if I can get her in the bed or if I can get her to leave with me or if I can flex in the club or, bring her to the cookout and have my family fun or whatever. But like with a Coyle Ray, they might just like, if they're approaching her, like either they think that she's beautiful or they think that she has more
swaggy,
offer than just a body,
something. Now with women, do you think you would be perceived, do you think thicker body types are perceived better than slim body types by other women?
I guess it just depends on your group because you got a whole subset of women who that is what they want. They want the BBL bodies, and
who was that one rapper that said she can't go out with another woman if she don't have a BBL, and she caught a lot Erica Brooks. Erica
Brooks. Yeah,
it was Erica Brooks. Yeah, so it is women that feel like that, and when she explained it, like I kind of understood, but then it's still superficial because she was like, the women that don't have the BBLs, like when she goes out, she gets all the attention, and so they start sitting back hating on her, or it creates a problem in the group. So she's like, if we all not caked up on a Tuesday night, then they can't hang with her. Like if they don't have a BBL, if they don't have a
have you ever like looked at like a group of women's friends and they all
look alike?
And so in some circles I would be appreciated, and then in some circles the women might think that, well, I can't have her around me because she might get all the attention, or and that has happened before. Like with different friends we had, they just start like hating me just for no reason, and I didn't do nothing. Like definitely trying my best to prove that I'm a friend to these people.
Think you're superficial or don't have no substance or don't have nothing to offer.
All these by so-called friends.
Yeah. So a lot of times I will say, like I've only been like what you consider thick, like maybe two or 3 years out of my whole life. But and I'm gonna get to that because it varies, because I've always been plus size, but it's been times I've been on the larger side of plus. It's been times I've been on the smaller side of plus. Like right now, I'm on like the smaller side of plus. So it's that weird kind of in between. Like if a man,
you mid-size now, they got like different little sizes now. You'd be like a mid-size person.
So because I've lost weight or whatever, so it's like now I'm not the biggest one in the room. And it was times I used to be the biggest girl in the room.
How was that experience like?
We finna get to that, y'all. We forget to that. But seem to be trying to hype me up. Look at it. But no. Right. But I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say I think that men, they respect different body types more. I'm gonna say this, and this is where I'm going. So like skinnier women, athletic built women, Willow Smith, prime example. She said Will Smith told her, I'm glad that you built like your mom. I'm glad you're slim and skinny. He said, because you will have a better chance at dating a man that likes you for you. Ooh. She talked about this on the Red Table Talk. Deep. Do you remember what she said? And she said she said she was kind of upset because, again, people think the grass is greener. So she's probably like, oh man, I'm too skinny. And he was like, no, because if a man comes up to you, he's coming up to you because he really wants to get to know you. And he said if you was built thicker or had more body, men would probably be coming up to you looking for something.
Yeah, I have heard when they was like, people like me, if they see me, it's like they don't think I'm trying to come up to her, approach her to like marry her. I want to approach her because of
fun,
how she looks. But then like summer bodies, like men like trying to picture, okay, well I can see myself marrying this person, like, or they trying to take women like me and whatever purposes, and then discard and they're gonna marry like a skinnier woman or a bigger woman. But they don't look and say, I want a BBL body and marry that person. I don't have a BBL body, but that's what it'd be characterized under. They don't want to marry those types.
Yeah. And like I said, I definitely think that in my personal opinion, I think that women that, and I, like I said, I've been thick a couple times in my life. I do think that thick women have it just a bit harder because it's like out of all the body types, it's the most socially acceptable. Okay, meaning that if a man walks into a room with a thick woman, it's okay. Nobody gonna be like, oh, she too skinny, or nobody gonna be like, she too big. Like they gonna get praise from their male friends and family. They're gonna get praise from the female friends and family. But then it's like, two, if when they approach like a thicker woman, it's not for long term. No. And that's why I say, like, when they cut, like, they might want to just take you out. They might want to see how far it'll go. They might want to see if they can get you in the bed, but it's not on no like, oh, she's so beautiful, she's so intelligent. Like, I really want to get to know this woman. And I think that that's why I would say it's out of the three, it's probably the hardest to find a real relationship. But I will say in society, it's probably the easiest because you get preferential treatment. You can get certain things, like men will go out of their way. They might spend a little more money on you. They might invest a little more time because they have they have an end goal. They want to see how far they can get. And then two, women might just be a little nicer because they want you around them. They want some benefits. They want to,
sometimes.
Sometimes. They want to get to certain rooms.
Not all the time. Mm-hmm. Like, there's definitely been times where I felt like, wanted in the circle by women. There's times where I'm like, I wish you would get on. Like, you can just feel the energy, or they'll walk off, or, just be weird.
Because they feel like you're pulling too much attention. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or you don't get invited to a lot of stuff when you get invited to the table, but then you get disinvited from the table.
Right. Like I said, it just depends on what spectrum you coming from and how you looking at it and the crowd of people that you're around. Because I think in the Black community, it's definitely like the praised body type. Like every rapper saying in they song, slim, thick, with a cute.
Think about it, it's rappers.
Well, yeah.
Like, I've been watching those shows, 20 versus 1. Look how rappers treat those women. That's how they treat us. Like, if you look like me, that's how they just look at you, turn around, bounce up and down, make it clap. It's like, who want to do that? And anybody who knows me, no, I'm not like that.
And they don't even look at the woman's face. They probably can tell you what this woman.
That's a perfect example. Yes, the people that's attracted to me is not the people I want. I do not want the rappers. I
don't blame you.
But that's the type that, like, my body type.
The woman can have no nose and one ear. They wouldn't even notice.
Because it's like over sexualized. It's like fetishization of these bodies.
So the 20 versus 1 is a perfect example of what we're talking about.
Right, I like it. It's
entertaining.
But I don't like the premise.
But it's like these women come up and they lead with their bodies. If you notice, the first thing the women do, they come up, they start twirling, they turning around, they bending it over, they making it clap, and to still get rejected. And then the dudes, like, they'd be like, but I'm going to catch you on the back end. So basically,
if you've been turned around, spun around, told to make it clap, bend over, and then you still get dismissed.
I'm going to walk, but I'm going to keep on. I'm going to be like Forrest Gump. I've been walking for 5-6 years. For real, because there's it's no way you don't play me like that. Like, you done made me bend over, clap it, spread it, shake it, twerk it.
I've seen that.
And then be like, no, I'm good. Huh? What? No, baby, I'm telling you, I'm gonna go on a Forrest Gump type walk. I'm gonna walk till I find my self-esteem.
No, they ain't got one show out now where, like, I think the rapper is blindfolded and they just feel on the body, like they just feeling on the body, like, to see if they like the person.
Right? I'll tell you, y'all, again. But this us watching 20 versus 1 and all this stuff is really open a conversation about, like, body types. If you notice, don't they reject the tall, skinny women instantly? Yeah. They don't even look at them like,
you don't have enough body, they're not even gonna pass you.
Yeah. Like, and then, like, the women be like, I got a little something back here. But no, baby, you ain't got enough. I'm sorry. Like, my boy might like you or something. But then the women that's like curvy and thick, they make them almost like perform, like circus style. Like, sure. I'm like, what? You can't. You don't say, like,
this is the sad part. Most women don't have a problem with that.
They don't.
And so people think that you too good if you have standards and you look a certain way.
Yeah.
It's like, how dare you have standards? How dare you let me get my way? Well, I don't have any use for you then.
Right.
You'll look fine in a man.
Yeah.
And that's the attitude they have. Yeah. Well, I'd rather be single for the rest of my life if I got to put up with that crap.
I'm telling you.
Because I don't care what type of man you think I deserve because of my body type.
Yeah.
Not happening.
No, I don't blame you.
I'm not going to sit around and start making it clap, making it bounce, twirl around the circle for you. I'm not doing all of that.
And half of the women that do that, they still tell them no.
But yeah, you don't get far with it.
So but they tell them, they be like, I'm going to catch you on the back end. So basically, I want to sleep with you.
It's lust. It's not
I want to sleep with you, but I don't want to date you. I'm not finna spend no money on you. I'm not finna do nothing nice for you.
I just wish more positive stuff was promoted in that sense. Like, I wish that they showed more women with bodies respecting themselves. Yeah. I really don't even care what you wear. Just respect yourself.
Right. Now, I do respect the rappers that be like, you ain't got enough clothes on. I'm going to pass you because you need to put something on. And the one guy said
even if you choose to, like, be more, like, scantily dressed, at least respect yourself. If they tell you to bend over and make a crap,
some of them say no. And they reject them instantly, but at least you walked away with your head up. You could be like, I didn't perform just to get rejected. I got rejected because I didn't perform,
Yeah.
But, again, like Ellie said, different arena, so it's like, it depends on the crowd and where you at, or, we want to know y'all opinion on this too. Like, which body type do you think it is easier, has it easier in society? Which one do you think has it the hardest? And we finna get to plus size now.
Yeah.
My time to shine. No, but for real. So, like, with plus size bodies, and when we say plus size, we talking about, we talking about Lizzo. We're talking about, like, Queen Latifah, because she's plus size. We're talking about Jasmine Sullivan before she lost weight. Like, put you in mind of those body types, like the women that have a little extra stomach, a little extra arm and thigh, don't necessarily have the biggest, roundest booty, because let's be honest, people would call somebody
Gabby
Sidibe. She's on the larger side of plus. Well, she's actually lost a lot of weight, so she's like, on the smaller side of plus. But, plus, and again, like, all body types, plus size is on a spectrum. Mm-hmm. So it's like Queen Latifah would definitely be on the smaller side of plus. Then Gabourey Sidibe, when she was in the movie Precious, that's the larger side of plus. And then you have, like, the mid-sized people like myself. You have mid-sized people like, who's another person that would be similar to, I'm trying to think of her name, Danielle Brooks, that just played in The Color Purple. She would be like mid plus, like, it's not like the barely plus size, but it's not like the plus size where people, like, will make fun of you and, like, were you the spectacle
it's
or
like
whatever.
Passable,
right. So it's different categories and proportions, and it's different things in the plus size community that's more acceptable and less acceptable. Mm-hmm. So, like I said, I'm on, like, the smaller side of plus, but see, there's a new category called mid-size. I'm not too familiar with that.
It's like the smaller plus. It's like right outside of thick, but not fat. So it's like mid-size.
Yeah. So, yeah, when I used to be on the larger side of plus, and I'm talking about, like,
and I'm actually not slimmer, like slimmer BBL body or slimmer curvy.
Yeah.
I'm not that big. I'm not the thickest you'll see.
No. And when I was on, like, the larger side of plus, like, I'm going to say basically you invisible in society. Like, women, so they instantly think they better than you. They can look like the bottom of somebody's shoe. And if you got a lot of extra weight on you, they instantly feel like you can't compete with them. They instantly feel like you cannot hold a candle to them. Like, they be like, nah. Like, they walk around like gas. And I'm like, you not cute. You just small, And it's just like, and then you get the stereotype of big, fat, funky, and I'm just going to say that, like, people quick to call bigger women like, oh, I know she's
like
I know, like big, fat, funky. And it's like a lot of bigger women, myself included, be like some of the best smelling, the cleanest people you will ever come across, because we know that's such a big stereotype. We are hyper vigilant to smell good, to look good, to be clean, to be well groomed, and it's like, you can do all of that stuff and men still won't try and approach you. They will still try and clown on you. Women will still think that they can take your man. Like, if you got a man and you out in public, they think that they can have him. They do.
Or
like,
they might feel like you're not deserving.
Right.
What is she doing with him?
Yeah, they give you that look like, what's that
Especially
about?
Especially if the dude look good. Because he didn't marry for looks.
Exactly. Or they have money.
Yeah.
So... And I will say, in my experience, I've always had it a little bit easier because I've always been pretty I won't say popular, but just because I don't believe in popular as an adult, I've just been well known and people liked me a lot, so it's like I could have caught it a lot worse. It could have been a lot worse. Yeah. And I was very confident. So it's like when people came to me, like they knew they had to come a certain type of way and I'm quick with the words, I'm saying? Like if you come to me on some mess, like you're going to walk away embarrassed, you're going to be hurting. So it's just like, I always had that as a defense and I always had that as kind of like my backup. But for women that I would see that was like plus size, larger, we're talking about larger side of plus now. Mm-hmm. And they didn't have that self-esteem, or they didn't have that confidence, or they didn't have that support.
I wonder why they be going in on Lizzo because of her confidence. It's like,
right,
she just be trying to exist, and they be going in on her.
Because they feel like big people should not love themselves. They feel like you should hate every moment of your life. Like they feel like if you got any excess stomach, because that's what it boils down to today. Like, because you could be 450 pounds. If you got a flat stomach, they're like, she's thick. No, she's big. She's big, but she just has a smaller stomach compared to everything else. Yeah. And that's what we say the scales, like what's acceptable and what's not. Yeah. Hourglass shaped plus size people, they have it easier than, what is it? Is it apple shaped? Apple shaped plus size people. So if you just boom, 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 like all down, it's no indentations.
Hair is acceptable too these days.
Hair is acceptable, and hourglass. Mm-hmm. So it's like if you don't have that like dip in, plus size, if you don't have that curve to you, like when I was on the larger side of plus, I lost it. I always normally had it, but when I got really big, I didn't have it. So then I would start to get the looks, or you hear people, sound like the Snickers, or you just get the funny looks, or women just, kind of like look like, ooh, like I know I look better than her. Like you get that type. And then you get men, they try, if they do approach you, it's on some like homegirl stuff to try and get to the person next to you, or if they approach you, it's almost like in secret, like,
I heard people say that. I had someone say one time, they was like, I never had an issue like pulling a dude or even getting them.
But to be claimed.
They was like, but they wouldn't claim me in public. Mm-hmm. I was like, wow. It's like, so you have to be like this secret or something.
Yeah. A lot of plus size women keep a man. I'm trying to tell you, most plus size women got a man somewhere. You will never see him because they don't want to be seen with this woman. Like, it's almost like a dirty little secret. Mm. Yeah, it's like they keep them as like bed buddies, or they keep them.
Now, what about the ones that they fetishize? Like, because it's some men like that's their thing.
Now, that's a whole different thing. Those men, I think they call them like feeders or something. They purposely go for like the larger side of plus, and then they keep feeding them. They keep them. They
like they don't want them to lose weight. Like
they want them to gain weight.
Show, like
my 600-pound life.
He left me after I lost weight. I'm like, what?
Yeah, it comes with weird fetishes too, because it's a lot of men that go for big women, but it's almost like for like extreme like fetishes or sexual purposes. And again, it's like that woman is being used, because the moment, like Cita said, the moment they lose weight, that man leave, or he start picking fights with the woman, or acting weird, like, oh, you changed. No, she's better herself, Yeah. But it's definitely like, okay, and then so for the smaller side of plus, they have it about the same as like a thicker woman. Like, it's going to be some people that feel like, oh, that's too much body for me. There's going to be some men that's like, oh, they come up to them with their mind like, okay, I want to see what that's about. Mm-hmm. They tend to have it a lot easier. They tend to be the ones that are models, because in the plus size modeling community, even though they say, oh, it's plus size, you cannot have no big stomach as a plus size model. That.
Do you think, like, I don't know, it's just something that popped in my mind. Do you think that race plays a part in it? Because I'm thinking about the late singer Selena. And her body and my body looks almost exactly the same. Mm-hmm. But nobody like really sexualizes this woman in there. I haven't really heard too much of it. And I wonder, like, does race play a part too? Like,
it does.
In the Black community, like, it's okay. But then in other communities, it's like, oh, she's just beautiful, or she's just curvy. But I wonder, like, race
plays a part in everything, because no matter what, in society, we all have eyes, and we see the world through our own eyes and our own perspectives and stuff like that. So, in certain communities, like you said with Selena, they they revered her. So of course she wouldn't get the disrespect. But in the Black community, the women are more disrespected. It's socially acceptable to disrespect Black women. Yeah. Like it just is.
Yeah, no matter what size, huh?
Yeah, like so even with plus size and white communities, like they have Ashley Grahams, they have plus size models and stuff like that. Even if those men do not like plus size women, it's not their cup of tea. They will never disrespect that woman. They're not going to talk bad about her. You might get the shock jock radio host and be like, yeah, she's this, she's that. But for the most part, the men in the community will not say nothing, But in the Black community, you're going to be hyper judged. You're going to be focused on. You're going to be made a spectacle of. You just, like I said.
White women do have like the pressure to be skinny. Like they always
do.
Like real thin.
They do.
Like, and it's like, that's what they revere as like being beautiful.
Yeah, and that's what's taught to them. Because in their community, men go for the skinniest, slimmest, like Playboy type. They want them blonde. They want them beautiful. They want them slim. They want them busty. But they cannot have like a lot of body fat. They cannot be, plus size. They might. And if you notice, and I'm not being funny, but the women that are bigger, like the plus size white women, they normally have a Black man. Because in the white community, that's not okay for them. Like they want to marry a Playboy bunny. They want to marry a slim, put together woman. And the Black men sometimes just want a white woman. So they will kind of, I'm not saying like they not attracted to that woman, because in the Black community, it is acceptable to be a little bigger because our bodies are just built a little thicker. We built a little different. So it's like the white man kind of like, oh, okay, she can go over there to them because that's not what I'm attracted to. So it's like, no matter what, she gonna find her home. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, if you're a plus size Black woman, you'll find somebody. It could be a fetish, or you the girl in the dark. You know what I'm saying?
But what if you like forced to date outside their race, like Gabby Sidibe? Because she said she tried.
And because I read her book, she said she was on the celebrity dating sites, and they would be like, "Oh, you cool or whatever. You cool as a friend, but I just can't see myself with you. I just can't. I don't see it going nowhere." And she said it took the dating coach, and she had to really sit back and think. They was like, try and change your profile, because she only had it set to Black men. And she said she never wanted to marry outside her race. She loved Black men. But as soon as she did, change her preferences, she met the now husband and soon to be, father of her twins. So you have to go where you is.
Yeah, I'm so happy she had the courage to do that though.
Yeah.
Because so many people listen
but
to
she said it took a long time because she said they kept rejecting her.
Who?
The Black man on the dating app, that celebrity dating app, I forget the name of it now. But she said she kept trying to connect with them, and they would be like, "Oh, you cool, as a homegirl, as a friend, but I can't see myself like that with you." Yeah, and then the moment she got the white man, it was like, people had something to say about that. Of course, she with a white man.
That kind of brings it to a different, like Serena and her body.
Yes, extreme side of thick.
Yeah, how she was dating these Black men, but the Black men wouldn't date her for like the right purposes.
Nope.
Like it kind of ties into our earlier part of the discussion when we were talking about it's hard because you just don't know, and they was not serious about her.
No.
And then she got with this white guy, and he's been serious about her.
Yep. Like I said, the experiences are different. We speaking from Black women because that's our perspective. Clearly, in the white community, it's totally different because it's different standards of beauty there. Yeah. So it's not really okay to be thick in a community. It's not really okay to be plus size in a community if they want to date within their own race. But like I say, if they are thick or they are overweight, they can't easily find them a Black man. They just can't, because that's what's acceptable. Now, the same Black man, he would never date probably a Black woman that size, like the larger side of plus, or, a bigger woman. But again, it's because of the socioeconomic differences. As a white woman is more accepted. But, back on the plus size thing, I think in society as a whole, plus size women have it the worst. I think so. Because it's like either you made to be the butt of the jokes, or, you are the girlfriend in secret, or not even necessarily girlfriend, you the sexual partner in secret. And then if it ever get out, that man, I'm like, I ain't sleep with that. No, man, I never do no mess. And they was wearing it out. Okay, they wore out every night. but they never finna admit it, you know. And then on the smaller side of plus, it's like either you get pressured to, if you lost a little bit of weight, you'll be fine. You'll be thick. If you lose 20 pounds, if you lose your stomach a little bit. So it's just like, it's always, you know, extra judgment there. And do not be on the larger side of plus. People, like I said, again, you get the looks, you get the stares, you get the women that's trying to, you know, one up you. You get the men that want to make fun of you. You just are treated invisibly. I'll just say that. Yeah. Basically, in society, you may as well tuck under a rock, you know. Mm. The butt of every joke. It's like, to this day, people still use Precious as an insult.
They do, right? Yeah.
And this was a movie.
That's not even her name.
That's not even her name. You look like Precious. What your Precious looking at? And it's just like, this is a real woman. That was how she actually looked. You know, so for that to be a decades-long joke is crazy.
Yeah.
So, in my experience, plus size is definitely the hardest category because it's like so much judgment there.
Yeah, and I'm going to talk about a few of my experiences here in a bit and why I think mine is like one of the hardest too. I don't know if it's to the extent of like plus size one, but I think it's right there, neck and neck, because, you know, I can give you some experiences of why it just hasn't been safe in my body type.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like I said, I really haven't caught it that hard. You know, I honestly say I can think of on one hand, since Cita said she could share experiences, I can think of maybe one hand where people have done something just so outlandish. I was like, whoa. So I don't know if Cita remember, we was at the buffet. You remember? And that guy kept trying to sneak photos of me.
I remember.
And this was when I didn't realize how big I had got, y'all. But I was like pretty big. Like I had like the double chin. I had like you know how you just be kind of like just puffed, you know, because you so, you know, like plus, you know, so I just had a lot going on. And
this dude did look like absolutely
nothing. No, he was butt ugly. But like every time I got up, I would notice his eyes would just kind of like follow me across the room, him and his friend. First of all, y'all looking like Thunder Buddies sitting there because it's two of y'all sitting side by side eating at a buffet, two grown men.
Like, what are y'all doing at?
Right, I'm like, find y'all something to do. That's why y'all here on a Friday night, cuddled up next to each other like a couple.
And see,
that's what I'm saying. Like, if they really, I would have let them have it because I'm lethal. Like, I would have lit them up. They would have ran up out of their tail tucked, but they never said anything. So they just kept watching. And like every time I got up, they. To the point I started kind of getting uncomfortable a little bit, and I just kind of kept sitting there a little longer. I would tell Cita like, "Hey, come up here with me" or whatever. And I think Cita was the one that confronted them, or she said something out loud.
I phoned them up and then they left. Yes, I did.
So Cita saw like the camera go up like this, and they laughing and snickering, and I'm trying to eat, you know, and they was trying to take photos. And Cita just went off. She lost it. She just started going off, and they kind of like packed up their little plates and stuff and skipped out the door together into the sunset. So that was one time where I really felt like, dang, like, you know, I'm just in here enjoying my little life at the buffet. And you got people trying to take pictures and make fun, you know, draw a scene to me, I guess. So yeah, like I said, it is, you know, to be plus size, especially the larger side of plus, it could be a humiliating experience because like, even if you just mind your own business, like somebody gonna make it their business to try and embarrass you, to make you the butt of the joke, to just basically dehumanize you and take away your self-esteem or your humanity. So that's one that stands out. And like I said, that was maybe 10 plus years ago, but I can remember it like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One of my experiences, like, you know, outside of like when you see me, you're gonna see me covered up. But I didn't always used to cover up. Like, the thing that made me start covering up was just like people's lack of control, like lack of self-control. And I will say, not just from like men, but from women too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we once stayed in an area where people resorted to stalking. And a lot of it was due to like my body type. So people would just be posted in their windows with cameras, taking unsolicited pictures and videos.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't like that. I don't want people like taking pictures of me 24/7 or stalking me every time I leave the house. And it got so bad that we even started going in and out the courts. That's just, and it's all because of what? My body, like my body type. So I started to cover up, and that, you know, when you get technical, I mean, it could be a trauma response just due to all that significant trauma. It went on for 3 years. But I did start to cover up, and to this day, I still kind of cover up, just to kind of stay safe and to protect myself. Because people will go through once when they see a body, they want ownership, especially if they think that it's natural. It's like, yeah, everybody's used to the BBL body. Like, oh, she's natural. Let me take these pictures. Let me get this video. Let me stalk. What do you mean you don't want me? What do you mean I can't smash? What do you mean? It's like, so it's like a big safety issue for me. And then I'm little. So I'm not like a tall person that's curvy. I'm like little. So I have to like always be cognizant of how I'm showing up. So
yeah, and that's my thing. Like not only was I a big girl, I'm a bigger girl. Like, I'm about 5'8". So it's like you can't blend in. You can't hide. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't a little short roly poly. Like I couldn't just like if I'm walking in the room, people gonna be like, dang. Like I used to get that look out there like, dang, that's a big girl. Like and I just be like, so yeah, I used to kind of own it. I was like, yeah, when I come in the room, like because I knew I couldn't blend in. So that's probably why I became extra confident, because no matter what, I tend to stand out because I'm normally one of the taller. Well, not anymore. People growing like weeds.
People are taller now, yeah.
Oh my God. Like I be feeling short now. But back then, I used to always be like one of the taller women, plus the biggest one in the room. So, and then this is why I say, with weight and like how you look and how your body's shaped comes to different treatment. And when I say the larger side of plus has it the worst, and like you the outcast in society, and you basically invisible because nobody want to acknowledge you, because if they acknowledge you, either it's going to be to make fun of you or it's going to be to like kind of gas themselves up at your expense. So you'll have friends be like, yeah, try to make fun of you or something, like, and they try to act like it's a joke, but it's not. Again, like I said, I've seen it happen to other people, not me, because they knew they couldn't. But I've seen it happen to people where they like the butt of the joke in the friend group. And I'm like, how you sit there letting these people talk about you like that? Yeah. Baby, you'll be flamed up.
I don't know, like, if y'all watch like Love is Blind and AD and her body and just how they made that the topic of discussion, like everything. Like you even had a moment where it was like Chelsea and her dude Jimmy, and then he was making comments about her body. She brought out, yo, AD, he fucking at your body or something like that. And then, I guess her trauma response was just kind of like to put on a little
play
show,
into it. Yeah.
I don't want to start any drama, but I know how I look, but I don't want to start any drama. And, you get instances like that as well.
Yeah.
Workplace, you always have to be considerate of
covered up,
how you're showing
because
up
people gonna say, "Oh, she dressed inappropriately," and you wearing the same thing as everybody else, but now it's inappropriate
on you. Like to wear a skinny person wears it, nobody cares what they have on, but it's like you can wear the same pair of pants, and it's gonna be a problem.
Yep.
I was once fired for having Michelle Obama arms.
Lord,
you need to cover up. You need to wear a cardigan and a sweater. It's like, why can't I just exist?
Exactly.
It's like you really have to always police your own body, because when you go somewhere, they're going to police it.
Right. Yep.
Jealousy in the workplace, like it's going to happen. Even if you cover up, like it's still going to happen.
Yeah.
Because people can recognize where you're dimming your light. They can, and they're still going to get jealous. You might not have as many outright jealous people if you choose to cover up, but
you're gonna have some. Yeah. And
so that's what you always have to worry about too. It's just how you showing up in the workplace, and that can be uncomfortable because Black women's bodies a lot of times is just inherently unacceptable.
It's up for discussion.
Yeah, and it's unacceptable no matter how we look.
Yep. It's unacceptable. It's up for discussion, and people gonna comment, and you can't really react to it, because if you do, you angry or you aggressive or whatever. But and like I said, when I lost weight, people be like, "Oh, you look so good." I was looking, right? Or people say, "Oh my God, you look so pretty now. You lost weight. This and that." And I'm like, I don't even say thank you. I'm like, girl, I was fine before.
How about this one? You post a picture. It's just you just existing in the picture. I thought you was quiet.
Cause your body.
I said, excuse me?
That picture was speaking loud and clear.
I'm still quieter.
I told Cita, I didn't know pictures could talk.
Like that was the most ignorant comment I've ever heard. And this person was supposed to be somebody in high school that was upstanding. And you really just wrote under my picture, I thought you were supposed to be quiet. first of all, who are you to box me in?
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about that. And then secondly, how can you make an assumption about my personality because of the way,
a picture,
because of my body? Like, I can help that. Take it up with God, not me.
Right. I said that picture was speaking to her. That picture said 15 things to her. And in them 2 seconds she looked at it. Like I said, again, it's different experiences and different, like, the spectrum just varies. Like I said, and it depends on like
race.
We
could talk about this for days.
Yeah, it depends on race and ethnicity too, because like for a white person, I definitely would be a big girl. But for black people, they'd be like, oh, you mid, so you medium, or you not that big. So it just depends on how people perceive, how they grew up, what their family members look like, all that stuff. But like I said, my personal opinion between slim and thick women, thicker women have it the hardest, but overall, it's definitely plus size women. Because you can't escape ridicule. Like, no matter what, you can't escape the fact that you have excess weight on your body. You can't escape that men might sleep with you just to get their rocks off because they're going through a little dry spell, but they won't claim you. Like, you can't escape that. If people want to feel good, it's like low-hanging fruit to call you fat. Like, that's the one go-to. And that's why I used to tell people, if that's the one bullet you got in your clip, for me, you better reload, because I'm finna air it out. And I've had people come to me and try and start an argument with just saying fat. And I sit back, I be like,
behind it. Like, okay, what else?
Cita, no? I'm like, that's all you got. I'm like,
one of them.
I'm like, that's all you got. They be like, oh,
you didn't come with anything else?
I'll tell.
You didn't think I knew I was fat? Oh, okay.
I'm telling y'all, that started a whole argument, baby. We had to go to courts and everything. Cause see, I was gonna let them have it. I brought the whole street out. But yeah, fat. They had the one bullet, fat. I waited for the rest of it. I was like, I said, that's all you got? Let my fat ass go park this car. I'm gonna get right back with you. Baby, I lit them up so bad. She put in the court documents and everything.
She started and didn't even mention her name. She kept mentioning my name.
Everything was dismissed. Everything was dismissed though, yeah. It's all dismissed. We won, so we could talk about it.
Because that was tied to like the stalking.
Appearances.
That started with me for 3 years, and it just trickled to the whole family. Like, yeah, it was bad, but it all started because of a freaking appearance, because of bodies, and people feeling entitlement over certain bodies. I let them have it. It runs deep, y'all.
I let them. Baby, I turned her every which way but loose. She was basically crying, wanted me to get off of it. No, you wanted to call me fat so bad.
And she wasn't even skinny herself. She was like mid-size.
She was funny built.
What mama say?
Funky built.
How's that?
She was funky built. Like, one of them body types, it just don't make no sense. Everything just everywhere. Like.
Yeah.
I said, baby, you should have never came for me. I'm probably the worst person to come for, huh? The worst. She found out that day. She ain't said nothing to me from that day forth.
Yeah, you scared her.
I lit the whole family up. They dad called it. The brother, everybody, the dog called. Everybody called it. Don't play with me.
Anybody could have got it, huh?
Do not play with me. But yeah, so that's our take on the body types. So basically, we want to hear from y'all. Who do y'all think have it easiest in society? Do y'all think the slim, skinny women have it the easiest? Do y'all think the thick, curvy women have it the easiest? Do y'all think the big girls have it the easiest? Or who do you think has it the hardest?
And we do understand there's a lot of intersectionality with this, so there is no wrong or right responses. We're just curious. And
again, you might consider a thick person skinny, or you might consider a big girl slim, a thick, and not slim, thick, or whatever. So it's depends on your preference, what you like, how you perceive different body types. But who do y'all think have it the easiest and the hardest based on your viewpoint? So that's all for today. We ain't gonna keep y'all no longer. We know this was a long video, but it was very interesting, and it definitely is relevant in today's society, especially with the shows like 20 versus 1
so
and Pop the Balloon and all that stuff.
Everything is just tracing back to bodies,
physicalities and bodies. Like they don't even, like it really. We had an hours long conversation. I said we gotta talk about this. We gotta talk about it.
There'll probably be a part 2 or 3 coming out. I don't know.
Right. We'll think more about it. Yeah. I mean, we might spin and, talk about something else related to it. But yeah, it's definitely a lot more we could say on it.
Yeah.
But these are just our personal experiences and our personal opinions. And again, like I say, this is a personal thing, cultural and everything else. So We want to hear from y'all and what y'all think. But that's it for us. See you next time. Peace.
This has been the Two Moody Chicks podcast.
Be sure to tune in next week to hear more from your favorite sister duo.
And check out our social media and YouTube channel for more moody content.